Hi dear friends, welcome to Gallant IAS. So today we'll be having an introduction session to environment where we'll be seeing how to deal with environment, how questions are being framed for your UPSC examination, both from prelims as well as mains point of view. And we'll be selecting some specific core areas of UPSC, your favorite areas of UPSC from where questions have been asking repeatedly. All these things will be dealt in this particular session. So without wasting much time, let's get into the topic. So when it comes to prelims, why environment is having such a great importance in your preparation? As you can see, among the other major subjects that contribute to your preparation for your prelims, environment is having such a major portion for your preparation. That's why for prelims, environment is very important. It cannot be skipped. And also, when we have a look on the number of questions that are asked, you can see an average of 18 to 20 questions can be expected from this particular topic. And due to its overlap with geography as well, you can expect 20 questions, an average of 20 questions for your prelims, which means that you have a chance to score 40 marks in your preliminary examination. Say if the cutoff is 110, then this 40 marks is contributing about 36% of your cutoff, which means that this is having its own importance. Environment is having its own importance in your prelims. And there are years where questions have reached up to 25 from this particular topic. So let's get familiarized with the syllabus of UPSC with regard to prelims as well as mains. So regarding prelims, it is general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change that do not require subject specialization. Keep in mind, the thing is that you need not require to have a subject specialization while you're dealing with environment and ecology preparation. And for mains, the environment and ecology part is coming under GS3. Okay, GS3, that is conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, and environmental impact assessment. So this is the overall syllabus. Now, the environment, for environmental science, when it comes to your preparation, this cannot be studied in isolation. This is having interlinking with your geography syllabus as well as knowledge of biology is required while you are studying the basic concepts for environment. So when we are dealing with the prelims, we can broadly divide the prelim syllabus into three heads. That is, the first one, as you can see, it is environmental ecology. Or it is the ecosystem part. Then comes the biodiversity. And the next is the climate change. Okay, so environmental ecology is such a very static part from where you can expect 2 to 3 questions. And more or less all these questions are directly asked from your static part or the concepts related questions, so that you can hit this 2 to 3 questions right. So don't miss those questions. So in environmental ecology, we are dealing with ecosystem, the basic concepts, the basic definition of ecosystem, the functions of ecosystem, the structure of ecosystem, characteristics. In functions, you will be seeing about the different functions such as energy flow, where you will be seeing food chain, food web, ecological pyramid, then ecological succession. All those things will be dealing under functions, and biogeochemical cycles are there. And group of ecosystems, that is biomes, where you will see both aquatic as well as terrestrial biomes. So all these static portions will be dealt under the ecosystem part. So your main focus should be, this is a very static part. So if you have a very good conceptual clarity regarding the ecosystem, then this 2 to 3 questions which can be asked yearly will be, you will be getting this 2 to 3 questions right. So this is regarding environmental ecology or ecosystem part. The next comes biodiversity, a very major portion which constitutes to about 10 to 12 questions asked every year. So regarding biodiversity, you should know about the basic concepts. There are very basic concepts regarding biodiversity that we will see in our sessions. Then about the conservation of biodiversity, that is the conservation methods of biodiversity. Then we will be seeing various protected areas, the various protected areas for the conservation of biodiversity, under which we will be seeing the national parks, the wildlife sanctuaries, the biosphere reserves. All these things will be dealt. Then we will be having biodiversity hotspots. We should deal with the biodiversity hotspots. Then we will see about different acts and legislations that have been passed for conserving the biodiversity, its historical importance as well. So acts and various legislations passed. Then we will be seeing various organizations that are at various levels, that is at the international as well as national levels, that are working towards the conservation of biodiversity. So organization is an important part, both at international and national level. So these are some basic modules which are coming under the biodiversity part, from which you can expect 10 to 12 questions. That is also coming from the current affairs. So along with your conventional part preparation, keep an eye on the current affairs that is happening around. Okay, next comes the climate change part on your prelim syllabus. Actually, this climate change is something which you can apply in your mains answers, because most often the concept of climate change and the different conventions, the treaties and agreements can be applied in your mains answers, and questions are also asked in your mains mainly for this climate change part. So this is mainly contributing to your mains preparation. Here you will see the conventions, the treaties, both international and national. Then you will see about different agreements. All these things will be dealt under climate change. Okay, so this is the rough idea of how we are going to deal with the prelims syllabus. And also you have to note one thing, the prelim syllabus itself says it does not require subject specialization. So just the conceptual clarity is enough. And it is saying the general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change, right? So what are the general issues? What are the general issues on these heads? The general issues on ecosystem, biodiversity and climate change. We can just list them, right? Pollution is an important issue. Pollution is an important issue under which you will be having several types of pollution. Then comes mining is an important issue. Mining is an important issue. Then various conservation efforts and the issues associated with it. Right. Then comes environmental impact assessment and the various issues associated with it. Then you have got what else? The land degradation part, right? The land degradation or the soil degradation. Then you have deforestation. Such issues are also dealt with. So just see, these are the major issues that are saying in the prelim syllabus. And what does this constitute to? This is your mains syllabus. So when you deal in particular with the issues, the general issues on ecosystem, biodiversity and climate change, automatically you are concentrating on your mains syllabus, which is coming under GS3, that is conservation, environmental pollution and degradation and environmental impact assessment, which means that if you have a holistic approach for your prelims preparation, definitely automatically you will study the mains part of the syllabus too. So that is what I wanted to tell you here. That is, when you deal with the general issues, it is automatically contributing to your mains syllabus. Right. So this is regarding the overview of the syllabus, that is both prelims and mains, and also the module segregation or the topics that we are going to deal in environmental science for your UPSC preparation. Now we have seen the prelims trend analysis. Now let's look at the mains part. So how the pattern is going for mains and how many questions were asked in the past years. So let's have a glimpse through it. Now, whenever we start studying something for our preparation, a general doubt that arises in our mind, so pop-ups in our mind, is that what all sources should we rely upon? What all should be the sources? So regarding sources, when we have a look upon the conventional material or textbooks that are available for environment in the market, you can see that they are a little bulky. So it is actually not recommended for you to read the whole text for your preparation. Whatever we deal in our class, the lecture notes is sufficient. Plus, whenever you feel you are lacking some conceptual clarity, go and refer the textbooks that is conventionally available in the markets. So please keep it as a reference material. That is our personal recommendation. Keep the books as reference material. So that's regarding sources, and also NCERT of plus 1 and plus 2, that is of geography. NCERTs of plus 1 and plus 2 is good for your natural vegetation part, and also for your basic concepts relating ecosystem and biodiversity. The plus 1 and plus 2 biology NCERT text is also good. So if you have if you can just go through these books, that is NCERTs, then it is well and good.